Believe it or not, this isn't a toy, and I didn't shrink down a normal size projector. This is an actual functioning projector. We're taking a look at it. It's the RD-814, so stay tuned. What's up guys, Tim here from Candid Tech TV. Today we are reviewing this RD-814 projector, and as you can see, the size is very small. So we're going to take a look at this here. I'm going to show you whether it's worth it or not, and in what circumstances you're going to want to use this. This is one that's popular on the internet. It's been around for probably a couple years now, and it's one of those things that I think a lot of people buy it and they're kind of misinformed at the time they're actually buying it and making their purchase. So biggest thing, this thing has a 320 by 240p resolution, so not the best. This is actually the lowest resolution projector that I've covered on Candid Tech TV, and I've made over 30 different projector reviews, so that's kind of saying something. So taking a look at the actual footage here, so like I said, this is 320 by 240p footage, and I think it actually looks pretty decent for being that. And you can see this is one of my previous videos, one of my more recent ones that I did on native resolution and kind of how projector companies label their projectors on Amazon and things like that. So this is stock footage right here that you're looking at right now. That is normal 1080p footage. This whole video is actual native 1080p footage, and it's got some of these clips and stuff in it that you're looking at now. So again, this is going to be downscaled to that 240p for this video, but you can kind of see, you know, what this would typically look like. You can see my normal footage and stuff on my YouTube channel here, and kind of compare it if you'd like. But this looks pretty decent up on the wall. I'm kind of surprised this is all in pitch black. You know, no lights on in the room or anything. Even with the text there, if it's larger text, I was surprised at how well you could actually read that, but I really wouldn't recommend it for text, especially any like text files or anything like that. What I'm going to do here next though is let this go a little bit. I'm going to let you just hear kind of what the actual audio sounds like, and just to get a little bit of an appreciation for the fan noise. It is kind of loud. I would definitely recommend using that headphone jack on here to actually hook up a external speaker by an auxiliary cable, so that will definitely improve your sound quality. But here's a little bit of that audio just so you can kind of get a feel for it.
The hardware itself cannot put out 1080p, so it's just going to downscale that picture to 480p or 720p, whatever that native resolution is in the projector. So I see a lot of people get frustrated because.
And then this footage here with the lights on is just to show you kind of what we're working with. So I have some text coming up on the screen there too, which you can kind of get a feel for that again. But with the lights on, you can see how big this is. That's 100 inches diagonally across that screen. So that's a pretty big picture that you're able to get from this. And you know, you can kind of see in the light, it's not going to be the best picture. In the dark, it's definitely serviceable. Like I said, especially if you're going to use this for like a kid's projector or something like that, then you know, this is definitely serviceable to do for that, and to use kind of as almost like a little toy projector, and have some movie nights or game nights. And you know, if it breaks or if kids are hard on it or something like that, you know, it's not the biggest deal because it's pretty cheap overall. And then this is going back to the main menu now that that video is over. This will show you got your different sections like this here. So if I go over to the photo, I had some photos that I loaded up onto this flash drive. So if you just hit that first file there, it'll kind of just go into like a slideshow mode, and it's going to run through my photos here. So these are all kind of different product shots that I'd gathered from, you know, my reviews and for using as like YouTube thumbnails and stuff like that. So as you can see, like, they're really not too bad. You can definitely, you know, make out what they are. They have a decent amount of detail to them. But again, you know, it's not going to be anything compared to the clarity of, you know, 1080p, 720p, you know, even the 480p projectors, there's quite a difference. But again, with the lights on there, just to give you a little bit of a difference and kind of see what it looks like. But yeah, I'm kind of impressed at what this can actually do, and the quality that you get with even like a photo slideshow like this when it's in 240p. And here I just took this kind of super close up and decided to zoom in with the camera just so you could see some of the pixelation in that up close. You can kind of see, you know, that's a bit blurry when you get up close there. There's not a whole lot of fine detail in the picture, and you know, obviously that's why it's 240p. So just to give you an idea of that extreme close up, But again, this isn't too bad. You can still make out the pictures pretty well. You know, if you're going to be obviously presenting something or showing this to somebody else, this obviously isn't for you, but I mean for kids or for you just kind of looking at this as I back up here and give you again the full picture, you know, from further away back here, it's not going to look as bad either as that up close shot. So definitely serviceable. And, you know, if your kids want to look at some photos or something like that, it's actually pretty cool. And again, just for some perspective then, to see the full size of the room, you can see the size of the picture we got up on the wall there. The projector is just right here up on this tripod and is about like 8 feet away, I'd say. So pretty decent picture quality from that. So this projector also does not have an HDMI connector, so you're not going to be able to hook up by HDMI cable, which you can on basically all the other budget projectors that I've reviewed. But you also have this USB stick that you can put in here on the back for the remote. That'll come with it. You have an IR sensor there. You get your power cable. On the top here, you got your controls. You got like your focus wheel. There's no keystone correction, but that will focus your picture in and out, as you can kind of see there. Is this worth it then? So you still do have an AV port, and you also have USB capabilities as well. It's also got a micro SD card slot on it, so you can hook up all those different ways. So you can see obviously with the size of this thing, that is one of the biggest pluses. So with the size factor and the fact that you can still hook up something like that, bringing along a micro SD card or a USB stick is definitely going to be a low profile way to travel with this thing, because this is already small enough, and then you don't have to worry about bringing a whole nother device like a Roku player or a PS4 or an Xbox DVD player, something like that. You can put your files on a micro SD card slot or USB stick, and boom, you know, you're still small and portable, taking full advantage of the low profile of this projector. So this is supposed to be able to play a bunch of different file types and sizes. It's supposed to play text documents, it's supposed to be able to do, you know, your JPEG, PNG, different image files and things like that. As far as movie, it does accept a bunch of different movie formats as well. I played MP4s on it. Well, I played a couple MOV files and they weren't seeming like they were working at all, so I'm not quite sure about those. The MP4s though did well for me, so if you have a video or something in that format, then you'll be able to play it. It plays kind of like a slideshow. You'll be able to see some of the pictures and stuff that I've got going here. But I was actually impressed for this being basically 240p. It looked better than I would have thought it would, which is kind of how I feel about the 480p projector models. A lot of time, you know, the resolution for video and things like that, being able to project that on a big screen is acceptable to me. So for the 240p footage that you get out of this, again, it's not too bad. It's got its purpose, and obviously if you got something higher, there's obviously better resolution projectors out there with better quality, but this is something that it serves a purpose, and it's a very low budget and very entry-level device. So like I said, this has better actual visual quality than I thought it would at the 240p. This is going to be good for like a kid's room or something like that. If you want to have a very portable solution, then this is a good option for something like that. Projector like this one that I reviewed previously, this is the Vamvo S1 portable projector. This is a $200 projector. This one, the RD-814, you could probably get for about 30 bucks, I'd say. And so this is 240p. This one is 480p. So there's a bit of a difference there. But if you're looking for, you know, portability and a good travel projector option, obviously the price difference is pretty huge. And this does have a focus wheel on the top of it here that you'll be able to use to dial in your picture. So you can probably see right there how you can, you know, move that up and down there. So based on the distance away from the wall, you'll get a larger picture. I have a 100-inch diagonal screen up on the wall, and the shots that you're looking at, you can tell it's not fully filling up that 100-inch diagonal screen, but probably had that about like 7-8 feet away from the wall, I would say. And this does not have any keystone correction on it. It's just the focus wheel. But two things that are included in this projector that I was very surprised about at this price point is, number one, on the bottom here you've got a 1/4-inch thread, so you can actually put this on a tripod or one of those little kind of tripod sticks, flexible octopus type ones. So that is pretty cool because that's going to definitely allow you to put this places a lot easier. You can probably even put it onto something like a back of a chair or something like that if you had a little flexible tripod. And then second is there's actually a microphone port on here. So you can actually hook this up by an aux cable to an external speaker, which I would highly recommend. I usually recommend that anyway with these budget projectors. And definitely with something like this, the sound quality is not going to be too loud or too clear, but that's an easy fix with having that option because you can just hook it up by an aux cable and hook it up to say a 2.1, 5.1 stereo system, or even just a typical Bluetooth speaker by the aux cable, and it's going to greatly increase that sound. So guys, this little guy is a good option for, I'd say, like kids. If it's your first projector and you're kind of just getting into things, you know, it's going to be low resolution, the brightness isn't going to be the best. You're definitely going to have to use this in complete darkness. It's not going to look great at all under lighting or during the daytime. The other thing is it's not going to perform well with text. You're typically going to want to just use this with multimedia type things, watching some streaming or, you know, screwing around with a little bit of a slideshow or some videos. But overall, for 30 bucks, if you can find it for that, you know, some places I saw kind of have it going around 50 bucks right now. I don't think it's worth it for that, but if you could get it below that or maybe around $30 range, I think it's a good option. I did a review on the smartphone projector 2.0, which is a cardboard little enclosure that you stick your phone into and you can play some things through that, and it was pretty bad. So that goes for about 15 bucks. So I would say definitely get something like this if you're kind of in that very budget entry-level projector space, or you want to get something that's more like a toy or for kids. This is going to far outperform that because you're getting some respectable image quality out of this at least. I've also got a whole budget projector playlist on my channel here, Candid Tech TV. I do weekly videos. A lot of them are projector reviews like this. You'll see popping up over here that budget projector playlist as well as the subscribe logo. So subscribe if you like content like this, and hit that budget projector playlist up if you want to see some other reviews. I've got other projectors from 480p all the way up to 1080p covered on there, and all the way basically from 50 bucks up to about 250 bucks. So they're all good projector options, especially if you're just getting into that budget projector space. There's a lot of good info there. So like this video if it was helpful, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.